everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. It is Saturday evening here in South Africa as I'm recording this reading, so I thought a perfect time to look at the story that is floating around that allegedly Meghan Markle's people have approached the producers of Saturday Night Live to offer her services as a presenter of the show, which had me almost collapsing in a dead faint. She really does think that she is just the funniest thing that ever walked the face of the earth. Despite the Ellen interview, one would have thought that would have been a cautionary tale for her. She might have decided to put aside her comedy career and focused on something more serious, like, I don't know, politics. But apparently Saturday Night Live is now in her sights after her absolutely stupendous performance at the Invictus Games, and in her mind anyway. And so I am using the Shadowland Tarot for this reading. It was the closest to a comedy deck that I could find in my little collection. And I'm going to be reading on it, 5-card reading, how she feels about it, her potential as a presenter of Saturday Night Live, how they feel about it, and how she feels about the news that apparently, allegedly, the producers would rather have Prince Harry present the show. He also seems to have lost his funny bone recently, got grumpier and more sour. But that's just, of course, in my opinion, and this is all just in my opinion, tarot reading for entertainment purposes. And while I'm shuffling, just warming the cards up, I do apologize for not doing readings yesterday. It was a very, very busy family day for me, and one's close to me. And so very important to make time for everybody. And if I'm not around tomorrow, Sunday, that is because I am performing in a concert where I live, a little village where I live, and really the less said about that concert, the better. But if I'm not here doing a reading, it is because I am on stage. And unlike Meghan Markle, I do not thrive and prosper on stage, but there it is. When one lives in a small community, one has to do what one has to do. And so Shadowland Tarot warmed up, 5-card reading coming up, looking at Saturday Night Live. Meghan Markle as a presenter, and I am going to get the giggles. I'm trying to contain myself here. And let's see what the cards have to say. Our Saturday night, live while I'm doing it, not live while you're watching it, but there it is. That is the way of YouTube. So we get the Fool card. The Zero card. There are 2 Fool cards in this tarot deck, just to let you know. The Fool, and then the second round is called the Seeker. The Zero, the Fool has gone through one cycle of major arcana, come out the other end, and is now starting a new journey, but from a wiser perspective when you get the Seeker in this Shadowland Tarot. So this is the underlying energy of this reading. Very interesting. A fresh start. She wants a new start. Perhaps she wants a new start as a comedy talk show host, as somebody on TV, because she seems to have run out of other things to do. Her writing career has bombed. Her career as a royal has bombed. Her charitable foundation seems to have bombed. Politics hasn't really happened for her. She never did have that dinner with all the senators. Remember that? Intervention on her part, phoning senators to encourage them to vote for or to further the cause of women's rights, working women's rights. Got nothing against that myself. I'm a working woman, all for having rights. But I didn't get anywhere. In fact, that was markled as far as I can vaguely remember, and the legislation wasn't passed. But she's trying something new. She's desperate for a new career. She's desperate for a start, a fresh start. She's been once around that wheel of fortune, the major arcana. It's been a bumpy ride for the Seeker. You can see along the way she's actually lost her head. It's fallen right off. I do like these cards because there are the giant shoes, and I'm always happy to see giant shoes when I'm reading on Meghan Markle, and she's going to put her foot in it perhaps, but definitely wanting something new, and I think that she really is throwing all her energy, all her PR efforts, everything at getting a hosting gig on television. Scary thought, but there it is. So it's a situation right now. Oh dear, we get the Five of Swords in reverse. She has had a lot of trouble and strife recently, and those two unhappy birds being watched by a big bird in front, and fighting. Birds do fight. It's one of the things that they do vocally. So Five of Swords, fighting, but it's in the reverse. I think she's tired. I think she's worn out with all this conflict in her world, and of course, it's noticeable. We won't point fingers, but we will just point out that since Meghan has been around, there have been fallouts with the Markle family, the Ragland family, the royal family, and the Spencers. None of them seem well intentioned towards the Harkles. Curious. Lots of charities that the Harkles have represented, and not just charities, military institutions, organizations, that sort of thing, have parted company with the Harkles. It's been a rough ride, as I said, with that Seeker card, and I think she's tired of it. She doesn't want to fight anymore, and maybe she sees herself reinventing herself on Saturday Night Live. Didn't go so well with Ellen's show, but perhaps it's Ellen's fault. And now, if she can just get on to Saturday Night Live, it will all be fine, because she is hilarious. Harry keeps saying how hilarious she is. Archie too, hilarious, apparently. Makes Harry laugh and laugh. And so Meghan going to make everybody laugh. We'll all see what a sweet, funny girl she is, and forgive her for all her sins. Alleged sins. So her feelings about herself as a presenter. Oh dear, Strength card in reverse. She's not coming from a place of success, really. It is the Leo card, the Strength card. It is a rather unpleasant depiction of the Strength card. But like those freak shows when, way back when, hundreds of years ago, if you had the misfortune to be born as a conjoined twin, you were sent off to the freak show and you had to carry that twin around with you. And no matter what happened to the twin, sometimes the twin died and you still had to carry it around with you. Sorry to be so gruesome on a Saturday evening, but we are talking about strength and inner resolve and courage. The card, the Leo card, she is of course a Leo, and Leos are great performers. The best side of Leo is how wonderfully they perform on a stage, unlike me, who does not perform wonderfully on a stage. But a Leo, natural environment is the stage, and yet this card is in the reverse. So far she has not been able to coax that inner performer out and succeed. She's desperate. Her film and television career, not exactly successful, not invited to the Oscars, no awards, her career faded. She did try her luck with Disney, and apparently tried her luck all the way around Hollywood, even the Marvel franchise, but no luck there either. So that Leo card is in reverse. That's an unhappy Leo, an unhappy lion. Not a cowardly lion, I wouldn't say, but she's been weakened and damaged by all this conflict, by this turn around, this spin around the wheel that she's already been on, has left her rather battered and bruised. But she still thinks that somewhere in there is the performer, the wit, the star that Harry sees, she sees, Daddy saw, Daddy definitely saw. The rest of us have failed to see, but give it time, and there it will be. But how do the producers of Saturday Night Live feel about this offer, this generous offer of Meghan Markle? We get the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It's a hell no card. The Knight of Pentacles is slow but steady when he's upright on that snail. Very, very slow but steady. It is the Prince Harry card as well, interestingly, Earth sign Prince. It's in the reverse. When the Knight of Pentacles is in reverse, that slow progress stops. And no progress, no movement. Not going to happen. But perhaps not going to happen. Perhaps Prince Harry may happen. Perhaps this is showing already, although we are going to ask about, well, we're going to ask about her feelings about this. Perhaps this is showing that they would rather have Prince Harry than Meghan Markle. If they're going to have one of them, it would be the Knight of Pentacles. But it's the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Perhaps it hasn't been offered, or perhaps they're looking around and seeing the bad press and thinking, do we risk it? Can he read, first of all? Because I think you've got to be able to read and learn your lines if you're going to present on Saturday Night Live. You've got to be funny ha-ha as well, not just funny weird. And there has been a lot of funny strange in the hardcore universe recently, with Mommy Diana following them to Montecito and all of that. So let's see, how does Meghan feel about the news that allegedly the producers are more interested in having Prince Harry present the show than her? Is she jealous? Does she think, oh, well, that's lovely? Oh, wow. There is a funny card for me, not for her. It's a funny card for me, the Tower. This is a shock, a devastating blow, a surprise, because the Tower is always something you don't see coming your way. The lightning bolt striking out of the blue and knocking you out of that tower, and down you go, plunging down with your umbrella, Mary Poppins, but upside down Mary Poppins, and a bumpy landing, a sore head when she hits the ground there. This is a shock. This is a terrible blow, a mortification. It's a major arcana, apart from the underlying energy. Oh no, we have Strength card in reverse. We're getting difficult cards here. We really are. For her. Not for me, for her. The underlying energy is desperately wanting a fresh start. Tired of all the fighting and all the negativity. No negativity, remember. A position of terrible weakness that she's in. They'd rather have Prince Harry, but maybe not either, because the Knight of Pentacles is in the reverse. And a terrible, terrible blow to her ego that, in fact, allegedly, the producers would rather have that Knight of Pentacles, who normally in Rider-Waite has fallen off his horse and landed on his head when you get the Knight of Pentacles. But I'm just checking. Sometimes I read these cards wrong. It is the Knight, not the King. Performance anxiety here. So let's see the outcome of this. Are we going to see Meghan Markle on Saturday Night Live or not? And we get the Knight of Swords in reverse. I think or not is the answer to that. A swift and ruthless cutting out. When the sword is upright, there is communication. The sword is down, pointing down. That bat, the bat out of hell, is riding, but it's riding with the sword down. That silence that's being cut out, excommunicated, silenced, removed like a cancer. No, she's not going to get her chance to shine, this Leo. Unfortunately, however much she might have been training for the moment and practicing, because you can see she has her little dumbbell in her hand there. She's been practicing, she's been training, she's been developing her muscle, her comedic muscle, but they're not interested. Hell no, I think is the answer, and possibly a very rude retort to that Hotmail account that floated the idea in the first place. Perhaps Dumbo will be invited. We might do a reading on that, see what the rumour mill has to say. But there it is, your Saturday night reading. Not going to be seeing Madame Markle on your TV screens anytime soon. Well, not there anyway. Somewhere else I'm sure she's going to pop up. But the makeup artist, the crying makeup artist, has been insinuating that she's going to be popping up soon. So wait and see.